When it comes to selling on Amazon, there's 3 different business models that you can use FBA with. There's what's called arbitrage, there's retail and online arbitrage, which we'll get into in a minute, there's wholesale, and then there's PL or private label, which is what I do and what I teach at the AMZ formula. Now let's get into what they are and the pros and the cons. Now, first and foremost, retail and online arbitrage are both the same. Arbitrage is where you buy a product below MSRP, usually on clearance or on sale at a huge box store or maybe online at a discount, so on and so forth. Hence the difference between retail and online. Retail is going to be you physically going to the thrift store or you physically going to Walmart, and online arbitrage is going to be you just searching online for deals, right? Coupon sites, so on and so forth. You buy these products below MSRP, which is manufactured suggested retail pricing, and then you sell the products at full MSRP on Amazon.com. And of course, the difference is your margin or your profit. Now, the pro to retail arbitrage is you can get started with barely any money and you can usually get crazy margins. The downside is, number one, you have to exchange your time for money because you're constantly hustling, going out to these different stores, looking on these different coupon sites. And on top of that, it's not sustainable because you may have a crazy deal with substantial margin, but it's not replicatable. It's not something that's sustainable that you can do over and over and over and over again. I usually suggest this model for people that have little to no money whatsoever and need to hustle some money to get started. Next is going to be wholesale. Now, something a lot of people don't know is one of my most successful brands actually had a wholesale division. So I know a thing or two about wholesale. And I don't want to say nothing negative or positive about all of these different models because I have friends that are crushing them in each and every division. Yet I'm going to give you my honest experience and my honest truth. Now, wholesale is where you become a distributor and a reseller of a product, or you are the manufacturer and you actually wholesale your product to other distributors, right? So let me explain. If we find a manufacturer, and I'm just going to use Canon. It's going to be hard to get into wholesale with Canon, but I'm going to use Canon because I'm looking at my camera and it's Canon. If you find a brand, a manufacturer, a company, and you can get that product that is sustainable because they're constantly making it, unlike arbitrage where you have to look for these sale items, but you can get a product that you can get below MSRP that is actually selling, and you can create an agreement with them to get that product. Now you get it below MSRP and you sell it at MSRP and you make the spread. So the pro with wholesale is it's not as difficult as private label to do product research. There's a lot more SKUs. You don't have to worry about product development or packaging or PPC or any of that stuff. But the downside is, number one, again, this is another hustle. You have to have some type of physical location, whether it's your garage, whether it's your warehouse, whether it's your house, whatever it is, to actually facilitate the inventory, prep the inventory, and send it unless the manufacturer is doing this. Another con is you don't have your own listing. You actually share listing with the manufacturer, the listing that's created on Amazon. So the way that you get sales is by getting what's called the buy box. Same with arbitrage. Now, how do you get the buy box? Well, you get the buy box by beating all the other sellers in price. The reason why I don't like this method is, number one, it's a hustle. You have to use your own packaging supplies. You have to have employees. You have to have a physical location. And on top of that, you're racing to the bottom in price to get the buy box. See, most people that participate in wholesale and have real connects with huge established brands have to follow what's called an MAP, or a minimum advertised price. Let me explain what an MAP is. If you go to Best Buy, if you go to the Apple Store, if you go to Amazon, you will never see a huge price differentiation in an Apple product. Why? Best Buy is a distributor, right? Amazon is a distributor, and all these other stores are distributors of Apple. Apple is the wholesaler in this case, but they have to follow what's called an MAP, or minimum advertised price. So that's a few reasons why I don't like it. The margins are also a little bit more slim on wholesale. Now, when it comes to the last business model, private label, this is the one that I practice and the one that I have results in. This is also my personal favorite. Now, this may sound biased, but this is my God honest opinion. The reason why I love private label is because it is easier to automate and it is easier to scale. We are building a real tangible asset and a brand around this. So that's a few reasons why I love this. And now, how is this more scalable? How is this more sustainable? Well, first and foremost, we can automate it. I'm able to literally run a multi-million-dollar Amazon company with one employee. And I don't mean one employee in a physical location, I mean one that works remotely, because our manufacturer is making our product, shipping it to Amazon. Amazon is facilitating the product, they're packaging it, they're wrapping it, they're putting the label on it, they're shipping it to the consumer, and even handling customer returns. So it's easier to automate because I don't have to have all of these different employees. I don't have to fulfill anything. I don't have to store anything, so on and so forth. The margins are going to be higher because I'm not competing with other people on the same listing. There may be other sellers selling the same product, but it's a different brand. Therefore, I can set the bar, I can set the price. And if you're unique and you're different and you differentiate your product and add value, you can charge more like I do. And that's how I'm one of literally the highest priced products out of all of my competitors. The margins are great and I have no resistance because, like Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal, says, the way that they were able to take over the payment processing sector is by dominating that space, controlling the sector, and escaping the competition. So you want to escape the competition, you want to differentiate it, add more value so you can charge what you want. So there you have it, guys. You may have thought that this was biased because I practice private label and because the AMZ formula teaches you how to start an online Amazon private label business, but I actually have experience and I've made millions of dollars in wholesale as well. And truth be said, this is my personal favorite. This is the most sustainable, the most scalable, and the one that I personally do. So that's why I teach you guys private label.